Hi, it's Tara. I'm coming back with another video, and this is a transition from winter to spring. Recently, we've been getting a lot of sunshine, and it's been inspiring me to put aside some of my heavier hitting winter perfumes and transition to lighter, more refreshing spring and spring and slightly fruity type of perfumes. So let me show you, I think the ones that I'm showing today actually have quite a bit of light fruity notes, such as raspberry. One of the ones that I've been loving wearing for winter was this one, Love by Sofia Vergara. And this one is a really lovely black raspberry, coffee, and florals perfume. So a lot of people have compared it to Black Opium, but I actually think this is more sophisticated because it's less needlessly sweet and more layered and nuanced. So this is like lovely. I'm totally in love with the black raspberry note and the way they incorporated it with the dark coffee. It's not like milk chocolate latte or whatever that the Black Opium is, but since it's spring, or it's getting to be spring in San Francisco, I'm transitioning towards lighter perfumes. And one of the ones that I've been gravitating towards is this. So this is kind of like a little bit opposite of that. So that one is dark and rich and kind of like thicker in texture. This is very super light and airy, and it's quite simple. So this is called Cartier Baiser Vole Lys Rose version. So as you can see, it's so bright and pretty and pink. And this is this beautiful light pink radiated glass. I love this because it slits open like a lighter kind of like, but this formulation is super light and airy. It's kind of like translucent. The raspberry is not very juicy or tart. It's just lightly raspberry and like a beautiful airy floral, white floral. So the Lys or lily is very light, and I wouldn't say it's cloying, but it has a very interesting like note and accord. So together it makes for a very, how do you say it? I would say it's like kind of like epitome of spring for me. It's so innocent and not too much heaviness. It's like effervescent, maybe is maybe a good word, but not harsh and sparkly like champagne, but just like airy, like the first days of spring, like when it's really cold and dry, and then you feel like sunshine hitting you and you feel like some moisture in the air, that type of where flowers kind of start opening up. You have a feeling of hopefulness and you feel like cheered up. This is kind of like what it feels like to me. It's so soft and feminine. It's very light, so it's not a heavy trailing perfume. Office friendly, very pretty and pink. Yeah, it's just like the bottle is, this kind of pink, clear translucentness. And these are not that expensive. You can get it online for a pretty good price. I got mine at Fragrance Net for like 40, 50 bucks or something. Okay, so speaking of light and airy scents, this is also one of my newest ones that I got, and as you can probably recognize from the somewhat iconic bottle, this is an Low Dizzy, and this is called Low Dizzy Shades of Kolam. Kolam, I think, it sounds Indian, so I'm pretty sure it's maybe like Indian script inspired, where they draw these like beautiful shapes, and it's very nice and colorful. So this is like kind of, to me, sort of like this in the airy vibe, very light, but this is more fruity versus that one is more like fruit hybrid with white flower accord. This is much more fruity, but it's very airy, and the flowers that they have here are like light freesia. Freesia has like a fruity plumish white floral note, and light roses and everything. So this is also like, seems to me like airy and very light and clean, exuberant kind of. It's not like in your face. This is also very office friendly. But yeah, to me, this smells like raspberry, actually, to tell you the truth. It smells like raspberry and musk, like a raspberry light floral musk, like peony, light roses. It's just happy and spring-like to me. Very simple. This is like a tester. This costs like 20 bucks or something, $26 off of Fragrance Net. So yeah, it's very light. It doesn't last too long, but you know, it's spring, you know what I mean? I kind of want to, if you kind of want to leave some of the heavier stuff behind, yeah, this is like the opposite. People tend to like the opposite of what they've been using for a long time. I've noticed that about perfume. Another one that is on the more exclusive side is this. And this is the Rose Cherie from Guerlain. And this is from the L'Arts and Material line. And this is also like a beautiful, gorgeous light pink. Look at this gorgeous perfume bottle. Isn't this beautiful? I really love this. I just love looking at the color of it sometimes. But this is a recent acquisition, and this was bought because I've been really, really missing French Kiss. That used to be from the Romantic line or something like that. And French Kiss was a very tender, powdery violet and raspberry, very French and feminine type of slightly gourmand, fruity perfume that I missed out on buying. But to make it worse, someone gave me a large sample, like the official sample is like this large one. And I put it on just out of the blue, and it was just something that I regretted missing out on. So someone had said online that they thought Rose Cherie was like kind of like a replacement for that, except it's less sweet. So I went and blind bought this because I was really craving for that raspberry violet note. And it's not like a perfect match. There's a lot less raspberry in this than I thought, but it is a nice light pink, powdery, slightly dewy, clean, not too gourmand, but slightly delicate, kind of whiffs of sweetness in there. It's like a light floral sweetness, and it's like kind of like the epitome of spring look for me, actually. So this is a good, for those of you that want the heavy hitting like Guerlain's, this is not one of them, okay, just to warn you. But this is really delicate and pretty. Very, very pretty. Really like this one. So, but it's super expensive, so you might want to get a sample or something first before you go hog wild, like I did. So yeah, so I got these in Paris, and the price is a lot cheaper in Paris. And right now, well, when I went, the exchange rate from euros to USD was really good. So that's why I also kind of indulged a little bit. Also, if you go to Paris, you also get your taxes back, up to 12%, I think. Is it 12%? Yeah, but it's pretty substantial. So here's another one that I bought at the duty-free shop. Yes, I know, crazy, right? I would not have bought these full price in the US because, you know, too expensive for what it is. But, you know, in a fit of indulgence, you know, for once in a lifetime trip, you know, I was prepared to indulge. And this is one of the Pivoine Suzhou by Armani Prive. And I just wanted to take it a little bit of time to show you the packaging, because I think it's very beautiful. So this is like a Chinese poem. I don't know what it says because I wasn't educated on that, and Chinese poetry is a bit like esoteric and, you know, not like everyday speech. So yeah, it's not an excuse, but still, I just wanted to show you. It's very pretty. Then you slide it off like that. And then it comes in this cool, heavy duty cardboard box. And then voila, it snaps open up top and you have this beautiful, yet again, spring-like color. Delicate, beautiful, clear pink, peaches pink this time. And this is a peachy, light, Pivoine is peony. So peony is like the queen of Chinese flowers, okay? They call it the queen because of the exuberant giant shape and the beautiful, when it's in full bloom, it's kind of like those giant roses with with all the petals, you know, all bursting out in exuberant beauty. So yeah, and those roses are actually called peony shaped roses, actually. So that's like a revered flower in Asia. But floral wise, it's not too heady. And that's, I think, also why Asian people like it. Asia is super humid and hot. So if you mix that with a heady floral, it's going to be easily headache inducing. So this is a light, slightly peachy, floralish, light pink rose. So it's very, very pleasant. It's very, some might even say it's too safe and boring, but you know, to each their own. I, for a long time, thought this was also very boring and not worth its money. And I wouldn't have bought it full price in America, let's just say that. But certain times in your life, you just are hit with these insane urges for things that are the opposite of what you generally like. I've noticed that. And when I was passing through the airport and I saw this and I sprayed it on my arm, I thought, I kind of need some of this in my life. So now I'm not recommending these, okay? I know, I understand. These are like very expensive. And if you just want a nice peachy, light, floral perfume, there's a lot of them in the market. You know what I mean? There's Bright Crystal. That's a very good price and a very good perfume too. It might be even more assertive than this, you know. It's a sparkly and very nice. I had Bright Crystal before. I used it as room spray because back then I did not appreciate this type of lightness. But right now I kind of need this lightness in my life. I don't know. I don't know about you, but I feel like I had a really tough winter. And with, you know, family, work issues and everything. And whenever I have something heavy going on in my life, I'm looking for bright, innocent, light scents to sort of perk my mood up. So now, yes, let's go into something that's a little bit heavier. I know it's still winter for almost everybody, but and also, I wanted to talk about these because I don't think that most people are talking about them, or most people don't know about them too much. And they also like keeping with my raspberry theme or fruity theme is this, and this one is like really beautiful. This is like one of the only ouds that I really like. I don't like a lot of ouds because I feel like a lot of people are kind of sick of them already. And it's just like people want them to go away so they can just enjoy their nice pre-oud floral perfumes or gourmand perfumes, where like oud is not just put into everything. But for this one, and there's another one called by Juliet Has a Gun called Not an Oud or something like that. Not Another Oud. Yeah, that one I really like as well. And this one as well. So this one is a beautiful raspberry rose oud that is just refined and just not too much. I feel like a lot of people that don't like ouds but they want one oud to complete their collection, kind of like you know, just to commemorate this, as it's an important and different like development in the history of perfumes, is this David Yurman's. This is called the Extrait de Parfum, and this is like the, I think like Absolute or something like that. Anyways, this might be might have been become very expensive, but when I bought this, it was like $20, and I bought this with the weird cap because it's actually a tester. And if you happen by any of these testers, or you know, where people don't know about it, you can snap it up for a good buy. I highly recommend you go for it. This is like a very sophisticated yet ladylike, not barn-like oud, okay, with raspberry and rose. Very nice. Highly recommend. On that note, there's this like another raspberry one that is a little bit challenging, but so this is the one leather that broke me of my leather hatred. This is Tom Ford's Ombre leather, and this has a prominent raspberry note with a really strong note of leather, but then it has some airy jasmine and some musk. So if you're trying to like leather and you want to just kind of jump into the deep end but then have a little bit of help to get there, I highly recommend this. This is actually the deodorizer or something, spray deodorant. I also have the perfume, but this is like a lovely raspberry, jasmine, and leather composition. Very sophisticated. After this, I started liking leather. Like, I can appreciate it. Before this, I thought leather was just really stinky and masculine, like overtly masculine. But this is strictly unisex, because both men and women can wear this. And I don't think that it's not appropriate for women. I think this is very sexy. You know what I mean? I think it's very nice and sexy. So if you can learn to appreciate it, leather, I would say try this. Another one that is actually more raspberry versus the leather side and is less challenging, but for some reason I didn't really care for it because I thought it was too raspberry and too little leather, is Black Saffron by Byredo. Yeah, so I had a travel spray of that and I sold it. And I kind of since regret it because it was a set and one of them was a Mojave Ghost and I should have kept that one. Okay, so we're getting to the end, but I want to show you this. This is something that I've been wearing recently, and I dug this out of my closet. It's a little bit dusty, and it's kind of something that I bought like 20 years ago. It's still available, but this was the parent company that branched off from L'Artisan Parfumeur. This is called Maitre, Parfumeur et Gantier. So master perfumer and glove maker, Gantier, because perfume making came from glove making and all that in France, because they used to perfume their gloves and hold it to their nose to keep the stench of the sewage out of their nose. So this is called Fraiche Passiflore, and I just wanted to say that I find this is a fresh passion fruit in French. So Passiflore is like passion flower, I guess. But yes, it is like a really elegant and not too sour and not too thin, yet it's not heavy or gross. Solo note called passion flower, solo note, a perfume. So if you ever have a chance to smell this, you should totally go try it. It's actually quite delightful. And I've had it for 20 years. It still hasn't turned. It's just as delightful, fruity, floral as ever. It's so elegant. I really love it. So this is my recommendation. I know it's a little bit hard to find, and you know, I don't understand why people say, well, why do you recommend hard to find stuff? Because you know what? Some people might want to make the effort to find it. You know what I mean? And if they do, then they'll be rewarded. But if not, maybe it can inspire them to find something else that's similar. It doesn't matter, right? So another one that I am thinking to get in the future, and that has like a lovely rhubarb champagne raspberry top notes is this. And this is from the somewhat controversial house of zoologists, and this is called cockatiel. So cockatiels are really cute little birds that are like, I guess they're like parrots. They're yellow and green. And so this perfume is like, unlike the other ones that they have, it's like a delightful rhubarb custard sweet. So if anybody knows British sweets, they have this one rhubarb candy. It's like a hard candy. It's kind of lozenge shape, it's longish, and it has a pink stripe, a dark pink stripe, and then it has a yellow stripe in it. And those candies taste just like this smells. So the champagne, raspberry, and rhubarb together, they make like a very musky, fruity scent that a lot of people that don't understand the sweet, they never had the sweet, they never smelled it. They said it kind of makes them feel like taken aback because it's not straightforward raspberry. When you make champagne, which has like a slightly bitter note, but it's also kind of fizzy and like effervescent, with something like rhubarb, which is kind of sharp and tart, and raspberry, together you'll have like a really cool musky fruity note. And the heart notes are acacia, which I've never smelled before, powdery notes, and cashmere. But you know what I kind of smell? I kind of smell like a woody mimosa, actually. Tell you the truth, it smells like it's bright yellow mimosa. This perfume is bright yellow to me, seriously bright yellow, and I love it. It has like a slightly syrupy front notes, but then it gets very airy and powdery with the vanilla and musk. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, this note is like candy spring. It's so light and airy. It's just like the opposite of most of the other zoologists, kind of heavier, more serious ones. If you like rhubarb and you like it rhubarb sweets and slightly musky perfumes and a light vanilla musk, not a heavy vanilla syrup, check this out. It is really worth it. This is probably going to be my next full bottle purchase. This comes from Toronto. So the House of Zoologists is from Victor Wong. I'm a Wong too. So I'm like, you know what? I need to support my Wong people. But anyways, no, seriously though, this is like really good. I wouldn't be buying it if it wasn't. I wouldn't be buying a full bottle if it wasn't. This is just like effervescent, slightly powdery, sunny. Yeah, just sweet candy. It's not candy as in heavy. It's sweet powdery musk that is just light vanilla translucentness. This is kind of like the epitome of spring to me, and this is one of the few gourmands that I would probably like. I generally do not love gourmands, except if they're like a cut, the sweetness has to be cut with some darker notes or something, but this is like really light and airy, and I really love it. So if you have a chance to sample this, I highly suggest going for it. It's not like your other stuff. It's not as juvenile as some of the other stuff. It's got a refinedness to it that is really outstanding. And also, look at this cute bottle. It is like super cute. These bottles are like heavy works of art with, I think, like a magnetic cap. I've bought a lot of stuff from this guy before, but I've never smelled this one this nice and innocent and fluffy. So this perfume was actually not part of his original lineup. What happened was there was a really influential perfume reviewer online called Yana. I forgot her last name, but her handle is called Tomelise. That's her title. I mean, that's her YouTube channel title. And she had collaborated with Sven Pritzkelite. He had his own perfume company, but it was very small, like an indie perfume company, and they made this together. It was originally called Powder and Dust, but when his company, Sven's company, went under, no longer exist, then it was bought by zoologists, and I'm so glad to be able to have this, to be able to try it. It's super delightful. Highly recommend. So we're coming to the end, and basically, yeah, I just wanted to wish you guys like a happy spring. We made it through the winter. It's a little tough. In light of all the pinkness, like the raspberry notes and everything, I've elected to wear a pink tourmaline. This is like really big, very bright and happy. And this is also a rhodolite garnet. So rhodolite garnets are light pink purple, and yeah, for spring. So thank you for watching and have a great time. I'll be back with another perfume video shortly. Thank you. Bye.